When I was a kid, I just made what I didn't have. I would paint all the time, pictures that would make up my blank wall because I didn't have any cool artworks or wallpaper. I would write books on characters that I felt like authors weren't writing about enough in the books that I borrowed from the library. I would do everything on my own and I would be so creative. But then it was somewhere in between high school where I started to realize I was picking up a paintbrush a lot less, and there's nothing inherently bad with that. But what I realized that after a while I started saying phrases like, oh, I'm just not very creative, or I prefer math over English, as though it was math being logic over creativity. After a while you start thinking that you're never going to be creative, that it's only a certain archetype that can be creative. And I think once a whole generation of children are brought up like that, there is something very wrong with that kind of education system, because creativity is not a level of artistic ability. Creativity is when you see something in your head, something that can be made better than what you see in the outside world. And even though you suck at drawing, even though you start off just by copying a bunch of Google images, you just have to do it anyway. Creativity means scaring and challenging yourself every single day because you're doing something that no one's ever done before or you haven't done before. Creativity doesn't have to involve judgment, it doesn't have to involve an audience of people. If I have just one message for this video, it would be, you should be creative. You should be creative because it's easy. All you need to do is have yourself, a good mindset, an ability to jump from failure, and just anything lying around you. A pen, paper, art brushes, even your textbook. You should be creative because it's one of the most fulfilling things in life. To be able to execute something that you've never done before, even if it's the smallest tweak to what you've been doing routinely, it's just so fulfilling, it's so different. I can't imagine just living a life where I do the same routine thing over and over again and putting myself in this mindset that I'm not capable of doing something differently, that I'm not capable of doing something a little bit more artistically. You should be creative because honestly, you were born with it. We were all born with it. As kids, we all investigate, we're curious. We want to run around and figure out what's different, what's something new that you can learn, and that's what creativity offers. It's not a certain subject, it's everywhere. You can be creative in any subject, any discipline, any career that you choose. And if you're still not convinced, you should be creative because it looks fucking good on your resume. Now go be creative.